Welcome to another edition of Just One Question. I'm Nick Morgan, and I'm really thrilled this time to have Amy Morin with us. Amy is a psychotherapist and the author of this amazing book, which I was privileged to learn about a few years ago and to get to know Amy. The 13 Things Mentally Strong People Don't Do. And all those words are important, and maybe she'll tell us a little bit about that. But first of all, Amy, just check in. I'm going to warn the viewers before we start that you are sheltering in place in the Florida Keys. So say about that what you can.
Yeah, so I'm on a sailboat in the Florida Keys, and
this is your David Geffen moment.
Right. So I have to say, from that aspect, life isn't all that rough, that the weather's good, and I'm able to get outside, and the water's nice, and all of those sorts of things. So I'm very fortunate to be able to enjoy that outdoor weather while I'm down here.
Well, thanks for checking in, and now we all wish we were you, I'm sure. Although for those of us who get seasick, perhaps there's this little silver lining there somewhere in case the harsh winds ever do blow and that boat starts rocking. All right, so moving right along. Amy, just one question for you. In your background as a psychotherapist and your experience and expertise working on the book, what in that fascinating set of life experiences prepared you, if anything, you can tell me nothing prepared you for this, but I suspect something in there prepared you for this pandemic. And what can you share with the viewers that you might have learned from that?
I guess a couple of things. Number one, as a therapist, I'm grateful that I know about mental health. So the anxiety that I feel from watching the news, the anxiety about life and sort of where we're going to go with this, have some skills, have some coping strategies that I've learned. But also the dangers of depression. Although, yes, I live on a sailboat in the Florida Keys, there's also the danger of getting depressed when we're socially distancing and when we're not able to use our go-to coping strategies. I can't go to the gym right now. That's usually what I like to do. I can't call my friends and meet up for coffee. I can't get out and do a lot of the things that I find enjoyable. But because I knew that going into this, I said, okay, well, what else can I do? How do I find substitute coping strategies and not turn to the unhealthy ones like food or alcohol or something like that? So from that standpoint, I'm fortunate that I had the education about mental health to know how to be prepared for something strange. Obviously, in a million years, I wouldn't have believed that we would find ourselves right here, right now. But, something else I learned in my journey was that my personal journey was that my life could change in an instant. I had lost my mother. My husband died when I was 26. My father-in-law was diagnosed with terminal cancer. And so lots of bad things happened over the years. And I learned really quickly, my mother died of a brain aneurysm. My husband died of a heart attack. They were here one minute and they were gone the next. And that definitely taught me that my life could change, at the drop of a hat. But then I wrote the article called 13 Things Mentally Strong People Don't Do. It went viral, and before I knew it, I had a book deal. Well, that taught me that, life can definitely change for the better at the drop of a hat, too. But this is kind of the first time that sort of the whole world changed, and almost in instant. It was like I was traveling, and I was doing all of these things, and then all of a sudden, everything came to a halt one day to the extent that, I can't go out, I can't go to a restaurant, I can't do a lot of those things, but we're all in this together. So I think just in knowing the mental health aspects, and also now that I know I've been through hardship and loss in my life, I just remind myself, if I've been through tough times before, I can definitely get through this. Well, it's uncomfortable and there's anxiety and there's worry and I can't go to a restaurant, I can't meet up with my friends, I can't do certain things, that I just have, I guess, this knowledge that I can handle it, and knowing that, all right, even though it's uncomfortable, it's not the end of the world. Things will change, things will get better. And I feel like I'm strong enough now to tolerate the discomfort I feel in the meantime.
Thanks. That's great. It's beautiful advice and a beautiful reflection. And I can't resist asking, though, of the 13 things that mentally strong people don't do, is there one of them in particular that stands out for you in this time? I mean, it's an unfair question. We still have to do all or not do all 13, but is there one that we should be particularly watching out for?
I think One or two. Number one, if I had to pick one, would be don't feel sorry for yourself. Because right now, it's okay to be sad, it's okay to be anxious, it's okay to be afraid. But when we feel sorry for ourselves is when we dip into the whole, my life is horrible, awful, it'll never get better again, that I just can't stand it. And it's when you start to really exaggerate how bad your life is, how bad the world is. It causes you to feel worse. And the worse you feel, the more negative you think. And the more negative thoughts you have, the less likely you are to do anything about it. And it causes us to just sit on the couch and binge watch TV and decide that there's nothing we can do, and we throw up our hands and don't do anything to improve our lives or do anything to make things better.
Yeah, I think that's great advice, and the reminder not to spend too much time on the sofa is a very helpful one. Thanks for that. There goes my plan for the evening, but
a little bit of time on the sofa as I sit on my sofa is just fine. But...
All right, thanks. Amy Morin, everybody, thanks so much for joining us, and hang in there and shelter in place and be safe.
Thank you. You as well.